what a shitty Raw this was. This is one of the worst Raws I've seen in a long time, and that's saying something because there's not very many good Raws anymore. Maybe with a few good moments, but oh my god, let's start this off. You have Fandango and Jericho start the night off with their dance-off, and Jerry the King Lawler's introducing them. Before they have the dance-off, they both cut a promo to build up their match at Extreme Rules. So Fandango starts the dance-off, and he actually did a pretty good job with his, because he wouldn't do it. He said to make a masterpiece, he needs full concentration, and he needs the crowd to shut up. So that was kind of good, but and then he gets ready to start dancing with his dance partner, and she falls. She falls and hurts her ankle. Jericho goes to check on her from behind. Fandango beats the shit out of him, and he grabs a piece of the dance floor and hits Jericho with it. And then you find out that his dance partner wasn't even hurt. It was a setup. So, you know, this was a decent way to start the night off, but it just goes downhill from there. Next you have Zack Ryder versus Ryback in a squash match. Very, very boring. Of course Ryback was going to win. And most of this, I write my notes down so I don't forget anything, but while I'm writing this down, I'll see who's wrestling, and I'll put it down, and then I'll put who won. But you know, like, okay, if I see Zack Ryder and Ryback, guess what? I'm going to put Ryback down because it's obvious. So predictable, man. This shit's just so predictable. Then they show a Triple H Brock Lesnar promo back in last summer where it all started. Next you have Tons of Funk versus Primetime Players. Now, a shitty match, but I'm glad the Primetime Players won. Very, very glad that they won because I hate Tons of Funk. That was a stupid idea. And the fact that they were like getting really over. Well, they weren't even really getting over. It's just WWE doing what they do. It's like, you don't like them? Well, we'll make you fucking like them. And even if you don't, we're still going to cram them down your goddamn throat. That's just how they do shit. But the Primetime Players won. So that was good. Next you have Teddy Long coming out saying that Dolph Ziggler will not be in the Extreme Rules match, so there won't be a world title match. I'm glad that they didn't strip him of it. But Zeb Couture comes out and Jack Swagger, and Zeb says that he should be stripped and just put it on Jack Swagger. And then Biggie Langston comes out and says that won't happen. Then Teddy finally announces that Del Rio and Swagger will have a last man standing match to be the #1 contender, which that may be I mean, it probably won't be a great match, but you know, that's better than just stripping him of the title. So I'm glad they did that. Next you have Kofi versus Damien Sandow. Another boring match. It wasn't even really boring, it's just the fact that most of these matches don't have enough time to get going. Once you think they're getting going, they're over. And of course, Kofi won. Next you have, this is probably the highlight of the night, honestly, Mark Henry promo. What I like about Mark Henry's promos is how real they are. He makes it seem so real because he's not the best talker, but I think that's what I like about him, because he's just straight up being himself, I think. Because I don't know, I'm sure he's not really just a badass like in real life, but I'm just saying, like, the way that he speaks and the way he cuts his promos are really, they're real. But anyway, he cuts a promo wanting Sheamus to, he pretty much demonstrates how the strap match is, he demonstrates how the strap match works, where you have to hit all 4 of the turnbuckles, and he demonstrates it with Josh Matthews. He basically drags him around, and then Sheamus comes out, and he tells him to come out and he's going to kick his ass. Sheamus comes down to the ring. He has a strap under the ring. He goes in there and beats the shit out of Mark Henry with his. Of course, they're going to let him get the upper hand tonight, but yeah, okay. I'm just not a Sheamus fan. I like Mark Henry. I'm just not a Sheamus as a face fan. Next, they show us another advertisement of the new Randy Orton movie, 12 Rounds 2, that will probably sell like 2 copies, if that, because it's going to be terrible. And then you have Antonio Cesaro versus Orton. This match was not as good as their previous match. Orton wins. Again, just a very quick match. Heath Slater versus The Miz is next. The Miz wins. I've said it before, I fucking hate The Miz, man. I fucking hate him. I just never could get behind him. And he came out and people were acting like, oh, he's back. He's back. The Miz. I didn't even know he was fucking gone. You know, honestly, I didn't even know the guy was even gone. I don't think anybody else did either. And the fact that Ric Flair gave him the okay to do the figure 4, it just pisses me off even more. WWE, man, they piss me off so much these days. Then you have, this is probably the match of the night, because the rest of the matches that I've been telling you about aren't even matches. They're like 4-minute matches. But yeah, you have Team Hell No and Cena versus The Shield. And this match isn't bad, but the ending was just WWE bullshit. Kane gets DQ'd. He gets himself disqualified. And then later in the match, I think it was Dean Ambrose that eliminated Daniel Bryan. And then of course it's Cena against all 3 of them. And I thought they were going to let Cena just run in there and beat all 3 of them, which they kind of still did that. That's what pissed me off. So John Cena gets the AA on Seth Rollins, and then Roman Reigns gets eliminated, or he gets DQ'd because he pushes the referee, even though you have all these wrestlers always pushing the referees, but this one push he gets himself disqualified. Then it's instantly down to a one-on-one with him and Dean Ambrose. And of course he gets the I think the STFU and the other 2 jump in. So technically Cena's team won the match, which was bullshit. So now they actually have a loss. I mean, not a, a pin or anything, but it's still bullshit. They should have just beat him or did something else. I don't know. That was just ridiculous. WWE, man, they fucking suck. Then Ryback comes out after Cena's down. He comes in and beats the shit out of Cena with the chair, beating up his leg where he's been injured. Next you have, and another thing that pissed me off tonight is the fact that they kept on promoting the new app, the WWE app, how you can watch these interviews and now you can watch the matches when it goes to commercial breaks, and they just kept talking about that all fucking night. Yeah, they had a match where it's Biggie Langston versus, he could either face Del Rio or Jack Swagger, and the fans supposedly they voted Jack Swagger, and this match was boring as hell, as it would be because it's a Jack Swagger match. Boring match. Swagger wins by count out. Del Rio comes in and gets his ass kicked, and then from behind Ricardo hits Jack Swagger with something. And it's just, I'm not into this whole, I don't like Del Rio as a face. I'm just not interested in this whole storyline. But anyway, and then you have, this was the main event in matches, AJ versus Natalya. Yeah, this was the last match of the night. And the whole match was, they wasn't even paying attention to the match. Like, it would even show the Bella Twins because they were on commentary, and Caitlyn, the Divas champion. They would just be showing them, and they wouldn't even talk about the match. The whole match was just them talking about other bullshit, like that storyline with Caitlyn, like she has a secret admirer. And that was what it was. Like, you didn't even hardly see half the match. They showed like what she fucking got in a gift and all this other goddamn bullshit. Just fuck this, man. This is just bullshit. Natalya, one of the best diva workers. I mean, honestly, she could wrestle. But no, she just gets put in these stupid ass storylines because WWE don't know how to book anybody. They give the shittiest wrestlers the most recognition, and just give them like the top spots. But guys that can wrestle, they just give them, just put them down on the card or don't even put them on there. Give them just fucking stupid gimmicks. That's just pisses me off. And then you have the Triple H and Brock Lesnar confrontation. This was not too bad, but honestly it didn't really build any more than what was expected. I mean, it really didn't really build anything because, I mean, it was just Triple H saying the same shit he did last week, saying how he became a man in the WWE and how Brock isn't a man, and just the same old shit. And and then Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar come out. Paul Heyman, of course, does all of his talking and says that he's a cage carnivore and he's the biggest slab of meat. But he eventually says that Paul Heyman doesn't believe that Brock Lesnar's the baddest man in the WWE anymore, but Brock Lesnar does. So of course that fires him up. That fires Brock Lesnar up. He goes to the ring, and they actually have it out a little bit, but they should have let Brock Lesnar, unless he wins, they let Triple H look too good all the time. They just always let Triple H look way too good. But Brock Lesnar better win this match at Extreme Rules. I'm just saying, if he loses this, that is just going to be so much bullshit. I mean, like, if he don't win this match, why even keep him around? He's not going to have any credibility anymore. Like, he's not going to be that ass kicker. I mean, he's already lost like twice. He's like 2-1. Come on. He needs this win at least to stay around. But yeah, this Raw was terrible. This Raw was fucking awful. Garbage fucking show. I don't give a fuck what anybody else says about it. It was fucking garbage. If you guys don't agree with me, then I don't know what the fuck you were watching, because I was watching the shittiest Raw I've seen in a long time. And that's saying something, because Raw's always shitty. There's always just a few good things, but this Raw was just, this one had special shit all over it. That's what this was. But anyway, that's my review on this. And yeah, fuck this Raw.